As of a couple days ago, this is our third Marvel Cinematic Universe show, which is honestly pretty amazing. But since there's a lot more of these shows to go, I decided that since we're at a pretty good number, which is three, that I might as well just talk about my thoughts on these shows so far. Also, because I haven't released a single video about these, and also because I really want to watch a certain show that's coming up. Yeah, so I probably should stop wasting time and just start the video. If there's two characters that really deserve their own show, it's these two. Wanda and Vision have really been an important part of the MCU for a while now, and even though they've kind of been off to the side, especially up till Endgame and Infinity War, it doesn't really matter. They're still such great characters that it's now really nice that they have their own show and get to be in the spotlight. Honestly, I gotta say, if there's one thing I could change, it's the fact that after the fourth episode, they decided to just intermix Wanda's world and the normal world, which honestly, it's fine, but I kind of wish they had kept doing what they were doing, have a couple episodes in Wanda's world, and then go back to the human world to do basically a recap of what's been happening out there, instead of, flipping back and forth inside the episode. I just would think that would be more fun to me, but I don't really care that much because it still turned out great. I think a lot of people criticize the ending of this show, but I don't really get it because I honestly like the ending. A lot of people say that it's partially because it just seems like it's contrived, and some people say it's because the action isn't very good, but I don't really care that much about the action, especially since this show in particular was never going to really be an action show. So I don't really care about any of that. I just really like that the ending had Wanda come to terms with the fact that everything she loved is gone and she's got to move on. But I think what the most beautiful part of the show is the fact that she doesn't. She still grieves and she still can't get over it. So, of course, she keeps continuing to try to bring them back. Anyway, go watch this show and support the MCU because it needs all the help it can get. Also, I don't care if you think it's weird because you watched Umbrella Academy. I know you did, so just shut up. Now, this is the weird thing about me, but I honestly really like it whenever movies and shows and books get into the politics. I think that's why Order of the Phoenix has always been my favorite Harry Potter book, and also my least favorite movie. And also why I love Batman comics, especially. And, I really like what it does with this. I like how a lot of it is about how it's going to affect how the government looks with all of the stuff with, the new Captain America going nuts and the super soldiers returning. It's interesting because it's not something you see out of Marvel all the time, and usually it's not handled this well. Guess what, though? The other time that it was done well, it was because of the Russo brothers. Even though I think this is my least favorite out of the three Marvel shows we've had so far, I still think that this is great. It definitely has the best action out of the three, mainly because it just looks exactly like all of the Captain America and the Winter Soldier action, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. I also really liked all of the stuff with Captain America. Obviously, he totally peaked at the end of the fourth episode when he killed that guy in his evilness, but you know what? Fine, okay? It could have done better, but I mean, for being the second go at this, I'm pretty impressed that this is how well they did. Not to mention the fact that no one really cared about this. So, Loki is one of the first times the MCU has ever attempted something even remotely as weird as the comics. I mean, the MCU has some weird stuff, but nothing as weird as,
Time anomaly removal crew!
Time variance authority.
But as someone who's a fan of the comics, I gotta say this is a lot of fun. I think it's nice that all the other Marvel shows have given the character some kind of character arc in some way, like a friendship arc between the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Wanda kind of getting over her grief, but I mean, this is just full on Loki. There is nothing about this show that gives Loki any change of character. He is still the exact same dude. I also think it's interesting that even though he does have a romantic relationship with someone, it's himself. Like, just putting that nail in the coffin there, that Loki loves himself a bunch. It's amazing that this right here literally encapsulates Loki better than almost every single film in the MCU has encapsulated their characters. He is so narcissistic. Narcissistic? That he fell in love with himself. Honestly, I don't think I really need to talk much about how amazing this action is. I like it better than all of the other ones so far. I really liked how much more creative all of it was. How many different unique styles of fighting all the different Lokis had, especially in episode 5. I just like this. Give me a break. It's kind of funny because a lot of people were like, "Oh, WandaVision, oh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, oh my god." But I was the one who was like, dude, Loki is where it's at. It's funny that this is the most consistently good character in the MCU, and as such, he has the best show in the MCU. So, I wonder why. Anyway, go watch this show. If you're not going to watch any of the other shows on this list, go watch Loki because it is the best one. Before I go, okay, so this is my second favorite scene in the whole show. So this is my second favorite scene because, of course, why not? This just looks like a field day in the VFX department. But I know how to make this scene better because I want it to be my favorite. So ready?
I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be fresh from the fight. I need a hero.
I made it better. And if you can't tell that, then I don't know where you've been.